There are spots all over the world that are affected by the tides of the sea. From roads to temples, there are some sights to see when the sea parts. If this is your first time visiting us, click that red subscribe button to see more videos like this one. Today we are discussing amazing places that disappear underwater. The Shivling, India. The Shivling is part of the Stambeshwar Mahadev temple and is located in Kavi Kamboi, Gujarat, India. The only problem with this worshipping spot is that it is completely submerged during high tide. The 150-year-old temple is so close to the sea that its Shivling can only be used during low tide. Because of this, the ideal time to see or worship at the Shivling is during early morning hours when the tide is at its lowest. Sea Parting Festival, South Korea. Once a year, 500,000 people flock to Jindo Island, South Korea to watch the waves part and kick off the Sea Parting Festival. The festival is a celebration of the Jindo and East China Seas that surround the island mysteriously parting to reveal a pathway that accesses a smaller island named Modo. During the 4-day festival, visitors can enjoy walking along the sea road and gathering abalone, along with various other activities. Though the festival is only once a year, the Jindo Sea parts 3 to 4 times a year between March and June. Rising Tide Horses, London, UK. If you are walking along the banks of the Thames River in London and you happen to spot some 4 riders on horseback, you aren't just seeing things. The rising tide horses are in fact sculptures that are visible during the river's low tide. The sculptures were commissioned to highlight the impact the Thames River has had in shaping the history of London. The sculpture also tries to show the effect of climate change caused by fossil fuels. It features 2 corrupt businessmen from the fossil fuel industry and 2 children that will have to deal with the repercussions, all riding atop the horses that slowly disappear as the river rises. Mont Saint-Michel, France. This magical spot has been the inspiration for Disney princess castles and can only be accessed on foot during low tide. The fairy tale-like town Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy, France is truly amazing. The community is surrounded by the highest tides in Europe and was established in year 966. Though it is visited by thousands of tourists each year, there are only 54 local residents that call Mont Saint-Michel home. It is also just across the channel from another spot on this list with a similar name, St. Michael's Mount. White Island, Philippines. During low tide, the White Island in Camiguin, Philippines appears out of nowhere to offer beautiful views of Mount Hibok-Hibok. The island of pristine white sand is surrounded by the turquoise sea and is constantly being reshaped by the tide. For those wanting to visit the island, it is advised that tourists bring a parasol or some sort of protection from the sun. The island is more like a sandbar and there are no trees, shade, or shelter. Passage du Gois, France. Known as one of the most dangerous roads in the world, Passage du Gois in France is definitely a sight to see. This road on the Atlantic coast of France is flooded twice a day during high tide. It can only be accessed an hour and a half before high tide and an hour and a half after. If for any reason you should get the tide times mixed up, you might be in for some trouble. Cars that have tried to take the 2.58-mile venture across Passage du Gois at high tide have been known to get swept up by the sea and completely disappear. Barra Airport, Scotland. This beachside airport in Scotland has been in operation for over 80 years. The one problem is the Barra Airport is utterly useless at high tide, as all 3 of its runways are completely submerged. When this happens, special planes that can land on water are the only planes that are authorized to arrive and depart the airport. Though it can be a little tricky to navigate your trip to and from Barra Airport, it was rewarded with the title of the most scenic airport in the world. St. Michael's Mount, England. St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall, England is more popular than Big Ben when it comes to being the most famous of England's landmarks. According to local folklore, the island was home to a giant named Cormoran who would battle across the ocean to steal livestock from locals when he got hungry. Tourists can now visit the site on foot when the granite pathway appears during low tide. Luckily for those who don't make it before low tide, there are ferries that access the island as well. Angel Road, Japan. This special road in Japan is only able to be crossed during low tide. Locals and visitors believe the road brings good luck to the couples that cross it. It is also believed that if you cross Angel Road with a loved one and make a wish, that wish will come true. Once you make the trek across, you will have access to Promising Hill Vista Point, which is located at the top of a little hill overlooking Angel Road. There, you and your love can ring bells to seal the deal on your eternal fate together. We hope you enjoyed learning about these incredible sites. Perhaps you visited some of them? Leave us a comment down below, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and check out these other awesome videos on our channel. Thanks for watching!